Hello, friends and adventurers, and welcome back to Sally Cat Plays Exile 2 Crystal Souls. We've got a couple of obelisks and a special dot over here. Must be significant. Carved on this ancient marble obelisk, the Valley of the Dead. Give respect, for here you too will be. This cavern stretches several miles to the southeast. Dotted all along its length are burial mounds, some in tight clusters, some isolated. The Vanatai must have been putting their dead here for centuries. However, far from having a calm, sedate air, there is a very grim aura about the place. You think you see movement among the more distant cairns. It's as if a dark spirit has descended upon this place, and the Vanatai have been unable to deal with it. Has someone else moved in here while the Vanatai have been resting? How impolite! Maybe we need to go in and teach someone their manners. Not all of the dead in this cavern are totally inanimate. This group, for example. And they aren't taking kindly to having their privacy violated. Well, hello there. Wights and spirits. So should I fireball the XP drainers, or should I fireball the magic casters? Also, one spell that I haven't showed off yet. Charm Foe is a level 2 spell, and I forgot that it was only a level 2. Usually spells that you have to buy are level 4 or greater, but Exiles 2 and 3 like to mix it up a bit. Let's see if this will even work on an undead. Resists. I could also try Capture Soul, but at 30 magic points, that's kind of a lot right now. So I'll just double down on Fireball. How dare my enemies also have access to Fireball? Okay, maybe I should have used Dispel Undead instead of Turn Undead. But Turn Undead is so much cheaper. Okay, got those all mopped up. Time for a rest. Much better. Well, look at that. Charm Foe can work on undeads. Nice. I do not like being webbed. Oh right, webs block line of sight. Huh. Slight problem with Charm Foe is I can't easily tell who's on my side now. Okay, it is that one. Because if I get the friendly white in the fireball, he will suddenly be not friendly anymore. Okay, Cimmerine very much need... Ooh, Cimmerine and Trouble both very much need healing. Here, Telemaine, draw some aggro. Or kill somebody. Also good. Oh, bless? I meant to heal, not bless. Oops. Granted, blessing does make her a little less likely to get hit. Can I end the battle with one friendly enemy? Charmed enemy? Apparently I can. I don't get to take the charmed white with me, though. Probably for the best. And yet another group. Telemaine killed again? What? No, that didn't happen. Not against yet another group of wights and spirits. Little more. This time it is you who shall be webbed. And put out a nice curse on all y'all. And of course fire. Oh, I see two can play at the webbing game. should maybe slow these guys too. Spirits are quite a bit more dangerous than I was giving them credit for. Lousy 1 damage. Okay, I should be able to actually survive this time. Finally. Okay, and what have we at the end of the Valley of the Dead? The long, grim corridor ends in a thick iron door set in the wall, covered with runes. All around are skulls, brown stains, and other signs of very dark goings-on. The whole place has a sense of great evil and great foreboding. And clearly, most of this energy is coming from beyond the door. When you touch the door, it blasts open, throwing you back. Beyond, you see a large cluster of undead, performing a ritual on bodies stolen from the cairns. A tall, skeletal figure, glowing with power, leads the ritual. When it sees you, it howls and points, and the creatures attack. Okay, we've got ghouls, wights, spirit specters, and a lich. This encounter might be a little bit beyond our level right now, but I'm gonna try it anyway. I should see if my frontline fighters have any good potions. If I get slaughtered, I should maybe come back after identifying some stuff. Oh, that's not a great start. And of course the lich is all the way in the back. Okay, somehow the lich was able to burn through a bunch of web. Or waited until his minions walked through and then just strolled on into the openings. I am, however, still pretty well alive. Trouble, come on, you can do better than that. Thank you. I'll take it. Yeah, my strategy here is basically to web the crap out of everyone. And maybe do some summons. I did save recently. I could try the Capture Soul. Okay, Spectre resisted capturing, and I cannot try again because that took a really big chunk of spell points. That probably wasn't the best idea. Oh well. Tame, can you do anything else useful? Maybe I'll just keep Tame in reserve. There's a basilisk? Did the Lich summon a basilisk? I am in no way equipped to handle that. I'm also a bit hoist by my own petard here, with all the webs and curse clouds making it not a great idea to move forward. Two of my party are now stone, and I have no way to deal with that. I don't think we can win this battle yet. I'm just going to leave that alone for now. Maybe let somebody else deal with it. Maybe we'll find reason to come back to Vanatai Lands at another point. You notice that this alcove has a lot of stalagmites. Gee, you don't say, Jeff. Well, that is this main cavern pretty much entirely explored. So it is time for our triumphant return to Olgai. And we should finally be able to confront the council. After some business first. Okay, I didn't actually get a lot of good stuff out of that. Most interesting item is those javelins are lightning rods. Flaming weapon. Basically, flaming and lightning enchanted are the same effect in this game. So that could potentially be cool. And now, the main event. When you try to enter the council chamber, one guard stops you, and another nervously enters to announce your presence. You hear several minutes of animated argument, escalating to loud shouting. Then it dies down abruptly. The guard returns, looking deeply unsettled. "They say you can enter," he says, barely believing his own words. You enter the council chamber of the Vanatai people, the first humans ever to do so. also the first Nephilim Slith. Before you is a huge stone table, at which sit 3 Vanatai lords, old and wrinkled, 2 male and 1 female. The woman says, "Welcome, humans. Despite my 2 friends' objections, I and our honor have demanded you be allowed to enter. I am Proces Bach. Welcome." She indicates the younger of the 2 men. "This is Glantris Bach." He nods, scowling. She begins to introduce the other man, but he cuts her off. "I can speak as well as you, Proces. I am Elohibok, humans. Proces wants you here to determine if all humans are pallid, worthless, honorless thieves and vermin or not. Bonierno brought you here for that reason, and here you are." Glantris Bach speaks. "Yes, we have brought you here to scry you, to look inside your paltry spirits, to try and understand you and estimate your worthiness. It is not harmful, but will let us know some measure of the human spirit." Proces nods. "Time is short, violence is everywhere, and the need to know is great. Will you permit us to look inside you?" She looks at you hopefully. I don't actually know what happens if you hit refuse, because I always click agree. The moment the agreement leaves your mouths, the council members close their eyes. Suddenly, racking pains lance through your heads. You drop to your knees. It may not be harmful, but it sure hurts. You start remembering your lives, your arrivals in exile, your struggles to survive, your training, your triumphs and failures, and most vividly, your fights against the Empire. The memories are more intact than you had suspected. The vomiting up of your life stories continues. For how long, you cannot tell. Fortunately, the Council has some idea of what you consider private. It only touches the high and public points, leaving the shadowy recesses of your minds alone. Then the pain becomes too much. You blank out. You awaken to find Vanatai kneeling by you, bowls of water in their hands. Pillows have been placed under your heads. You stand, shakily, and see the council. The face of Proces is lit up in triumph and relief. The 2 men look profoundly worried and disturbed. Then Proces speaks. "It is clear that you humans are more complicated than we estimated, and that we must begin efforts to find the actual perpetrators of the crime against us. This empire seems a hostile force we should look at carefully. For now, it has been decided that the barriers in your caverns will be dissolved. We know better what is happening. Their purpose is served. Now, you may return to your lands." She points at the door on the east wall. "We created a portal between our lands and yours, in expectation of war. Perhaps it may be used for other purposes. One can only hope. The portal is permanent. You will be able to return through it. This is important, for we have an offer to make you. We ask you to recover our crystal souls and return them to the shrine to the southwest, their home. If you can recover all 3 of them, and if you of Exile were not the thieves, we will lend our support to you in your war against the Empire. Our numbers are small, but our power is great." Glantris Bach stands to speak. "Whatever antipathy I feel towards humans, I must still say this. Your efforts to reawaken our people after the group we sent was slain were noble and deserving of reward." You are brought a pouch. A peek inside reveals several platinum discs. "Thank you for your aid. Nobly done." Again, Glantris Bach speaks. "We still do not trust you, but it is clear more is happening than we understand. We do not know why Vanatai attacked you at the River Fort ruins. They were not of us, and their presence was very disturbing. Be careful. The Vanatai people may be no more united of purpose than the humans." Elohi chimes in. "And should you find evidence of the location of one of our crystals, bring it to us with all speed. We may be able to give you aid in recovering it." Finally, Proces speaks. "Remember, we will stop at nothing to rescue the spirits of our ancestors, and if you help us, Our rewards will be great. Thank you for the risks you took in coming here. But, she says sadly, sitting, the worst is ahead for all of us. I am sure of it. Glantris and Elohi nod at this, and then they say no more.
Cool.
Well then. And now, if I so choose, I can actually talk to each of the council members individually. This stern, aged leader of the Vanatai sits at the end of the table, lost in thought. I am Glantris, Bok of the Vanatai people, and their sworn protector. I am contemplating the reasons why you humans may have decided to dishonor us. You have to understand the importance of the crystal souls to us. They are the living history, wisdom, and conscience of their people. They are living beings, the most valued of us all. I can't say this of all of you, but some of you humans are lowly creatures indeed. My theory is this. Many of the Boks have had magical powers, and these powers were retained by their crystal forms. The thieves may have felt our ancestors to be little more than precious magical items. He seems repulsed by the notion. Okay then. A Vanatai of, you guess, middle age stares at you with huge, fishy white eyes. I am a Lohibok, servant of the Vanatai people. He holds up a thick sheaf of papers, covered with calculations, notes, and thick blocks of cramped handwriting. It has fallen to me, I am afraid, to ponder the future. Beyond the wars, the caves now are very different from what they were when we began our last resting. There are humans now, and Nephilim and Nepharim, and the Sliths, and the other races you told us of. And only we can hibernate. One day, I fear, we will fall to squabbling. We are only one of many tribes, and there is only so much space in our caves. The future may be ugly. The question is whether you all may one day be happier on your surface. That is where you belong. I suspect we will need to fight the Empire one day. When we do, the battle may continue to the surface. Perhaps you will then be able to return there. He looks down at his notes and back up at you. I cannot be sure, but in the long run this may be the only way for us all to have peace. Hibernation. Something each and every tribe does every millennium or so, for a few centuries, to give the caves a chance to regenerate. Life down here is hard, as you no doubt have found. Indeed, indeed. You meet a tall, stately Vanatai woman, wearing the thin gold headband all the Boks wear. I am Procesbok, friend to the Vanatai people, and to you. I contemplate the direction our people will take in this time of turmoil. I look for the direction we may travel to find peace. Often, we disagree. Glantris and Elohi fear and dislike humans, although they can still be rational when faced with facts. Rentar Irno is much the same way, and is much more powerful. She is the greatest of our mages. She created the barriers in your lands, and she constantly looks for ways to defend our people and assault our enemies. She is difficult to control at times, but she is truly our greatest strength. I contemplate our direction to take in the future, who to attack, how, and when, and whether the group we are attacking is the right one. Alas, it isn't always, as you now know. Well, at least you are willing to own up to being wrong when it happens. Living in these caves is a hard, hard thing. War makes it near impossible. Alrighty. The sign reads, Portal Chamber. But first, a couple of locked doors. Can I just not unlock that one? Boxes? This crystal box is closed and locked. You try to open it, but to no avail. Maybe you can find a way inside later. Same message for all 3 boxes. 3 boxes for 3 crystal souls, perhaps? Maybe another time. Well, folks, we have one clear path ahead of us. Into the portal and, we hope, back to our home of exile. There is a glowing, greenish portal here. You feel a horrid wrenching sensation, as if your kidneys were trying to leap out of your mouth. Then you find yourself far away. You find yourself in a human building with human furniture, facing several highly startled humans. Fortunately, quick talking keeps them from butchering you. You are bundled off to questioning. Soldiers of Exile grill you about who you are, where you came from, and what you are doing there. They don't believe a word of what you say, until they cast truth spells. Hey, I don't get truth spells. When they do, they are, to say the least, stunned. You are given a meal and a bed for the night. The next day, you are asked more about the Vanatai, about their homes and their weapons, and especially about the crystal souls. After a time, you find out you are in the Tower of Magi. Eventually, they finish with you. You are taken to your room, and told to stay out of the way, while they figure out what to do. Well, you're home, but it would seem the action is only beginning. Next time, tune in for Chapter 4, Crystal Souls. Have a good one, everybody.